Spanish grammar guy here on Focus 15 Spanish to help you with your Spanish grammar. Now today I want to look at using impersonal expressions in Spanish, those expressions you use to make general statements without specifying a specific subject. And they're an essential part of Spanish grammar. They allow us to express actions without naming a subject, giving us sort of flexibility to make general statements. And there are a number of different ways to form these impersonal expressions, and they're very, very common in Spanish. So impersonal expressions don't refer to a specific subject, and they're often used, as I've said, to make general statements or describe particular situations or give a general opinion. Now, the most common way of creating impersonal expressions is by using se in the third person singular or the third person plural, but there are other ways too, so let's take a look. So first of all, using the se construction to create impersonal expressions, and this is one of the most common ways to create this type of sentence in Spanish. Use se followed by a verb in the third person. Let's take a look at one particular example now. If we see this sentence here, se vive bien en esta ciudad. Literally, one lives well in this city, or you could say people live well in this city. So in this sentence, se makes the statement impersonal, suggesting that generally people live well in the city without specifying who exactly. Let's take a look at a second example here. Se habla español aquí. Here, what we're saying in English is that Spanish is spoken here, but we're not saying by whom. So that this construction is here to indicate a general statement that somebody here speaks Spanish, but we haven't given a specific subject. So how do we form this construction? It's not difficult. If there's a singular subject in the sentence, use the third person singular of the verb. For example, la tienda se cierra desde la 1 a las 2. The shop is closed from 1 until 2. La tienda being singular. But if there's a plural subject in the sentence, use the third person plural of the verb with se before it again. For example, se construyen muchas casas aquí. Lots of houses are built here. So of course, what we see here, because casas is plural, we need to use the third person plural of the verb construir. So it's construyen. That's all we have to do to create the impersonal expressions in Spanish using se. Now, some of you may realize that this is also the same way we construct the passive voice in Spanish using se. And yes, that's true. But the passive and the impersonal are also used grammatically differently. So take a look at the video for that also. But yes, it is essentially the same construction. We can also use infinitive forms of the verb to express impersonal statements. So not just using the se construction, but impersonal expressions can be used by using the infinitive form of the verb in this way here. Here's a first example. Para viajar hay que tener dinero. To travel, you've got to have money. So it's a general statement that says that traveling needs money. You can also use impersonal expressions by using adjectives and the verb ser, to be, and then a verb in the infinitive. So let's have a look at this particular example here. Es fácil aprender un nuevo idioma. It's easy to learn a new language. So what we have here is the verb ser, es, an adjective, fácil in this case, and a verb in the infinitive to express a general statement or opinion about something. aprender in this case. If we look at another example, es mejor no decir nada. It's better not to say anything. The verb ser, an adjective, and the verb in the infinitive. So that's basically the ways to create impersonal expressions in Spanish, which help us give general statements, observations, or opinions without referring to a specific subject. So we can either use say constructions, infinitive forms, and with ser and the adjective to convey thoughts or ideas in a more universal way. Okay, that's it for now. Please subscribe to Focus 15 with the Spanish Grammar Guy for more Spanish grammar tips. Thanks for watching.